Hi everyone, this is Miles. Today I want to talk about the 7 best side hustles you can start ASAP. These are blue light blocking glasses. They actually work very well. I even tested them on blue light and they didn't pass through. So very, very interesting product to help me with headaches. These are my big ones. I usually, when I'm at my home desk, I use them, and I have a small, normal looking glasses that I'll use when I go out. So the first and probably the most common source of income for most people is their main job, or as the IRS calls it, earned income. And this is pretty much where everyone starts off. This is where I started off. I have worked many jobs over the years. I've been a cook. My most recent job was a certified nursing assistant in California, making about $1,800 $1,800 a month, working 50 hours plus a week. Very hard, emotional, backbreaking work. Shout out to all the nurses and CNAs or anyone else in the medical field watching this. So that is normally the first and our primary source of income will be our earned income for most people that have not started anything else. The second source of income is dividend income. It's probably the easiest source, in my opinion, to create very, very quickly. You can create a small amount of dividend income. As of right now, I have $181 a year in dividend income. You can obtain dividend income really quickly. Click in the description below and smash the like button for me. I have a link to E-Trade. When you sign up for E-Trade and you sign up for a brokerage account, you can buy 2 to 3 shares of KO, also known as Coca-Cola. Then you officially have a second source of income. And here's how it works. When you go and invest in a stock like this, what you're really investing in and really buying into is a very teeny tiny small ownership share of that company. So you can be that guy that says, I own Coca-Cola. In theory you do. You own a very small part of Coca-Cola. So moving on, a small portion of a company, and by small I mean like one trillionth, that small piece of that company, some of those companies will pay you out a dividend, which is a really fancy word for just saying they're going to pay you out a very tiny portion of their profit because you now own a small portion of the company. By buying their stock now, I'll give Apple as an example. Let's just say they pay a 0.65 or a 0.65% dividend annually, which means every $100 you invest, they're going to pay you 65 cents in passive income. That also means you'll report that to the IRS. It means you're going to have to report that as income. Plenty of stocks are out there that pay a dividend. They can range anywhere from the next to nothing. I've seen them be 0.10%, very, very low, almost nothing, and over 10%. Like some junk bonds are 12% is what they give. So an example I have is the Simon Property Group, which is a company that owns and manages malls and retail spaces. It pays you 7.87% dividend on your money. That would be $7.87 per $100 a year. Also, Exxon Mobil pays 8.67%, 3M pays 3.57%, and so on. The possibilities here are endless. And you could literally set up in just a few minutes, and even something like the S&P 500 Index Fund, SPY, SPX, VOO, those are all viable S&P 500 index funds. Generally, it gives a 1.74% return on your money as it stands right now. For every $100, you'll get $1.74 every single year in passive income as a dividend. And that pays you, and you must report that to the IRS. Third source of income is tied pretty closely to the second, and that would be capital gains. This is what happens when you sell your investment for a profit, and the amount you were taxed on is called your capital gains. Capital gains taxes is something that a lot of people dread paying because it's a lot of money. If people sell their businesses, if people sell real estate and they want to profit for that money, a lot of times what's going to happen is you will be subject to paying capital gains taxes. So if you buy a $10 stock and you sell it for $25, that 15% difference in profit is called your capital gains, and the IRS calls that another source of income. It's also another way you can make money investing in the stock market. Because unlike the second source of income, not all stocks pay dividends. Instead, many stocks are what It's known as growth stocks. If you click on the link below to Miles Matias Teachable or Miles Matias Financial Education, teachable.com, I actually have my How to Invest course that goes over a lot of things in massive detail. So if you have a $100 stock, instead of getting a 5% dividend, the stock price may just go up 5% a year. At the end of the day, that's pretty much the same thing, except you're not going to be taxed on the value that that stock is until you actually go out and sell it. So you'll be taxed once you sell the stock. Capital gains, a lot of people like them. Netflix is a very good example of a growth stock. Man, just 2 years ago it was about $85. Now it's over $500. So that grew a lot. And think about how many people are going to keep buying Netflix. People aren't going to stop. So after that, we have another very common one, and it's also one that a lot of us probably have and don't realize it. It's interest income. This happens to be when you keep your money in a high yield savings account, or basically any bank that pays you a slightly remote amount of interest. And the chances are, at the end of the year, they give you a 1099 interest form with how much money you earn. Could be 18 cents, could be $15. Depends on how much money you have in a savings that's earning you some money. Also be from buying into a CD or a bond and just lending someone some money and getting paid back with interest. But this is different from dividend or capital gains because interest is generally taxed at your ordinary tax rate, so you don't get any special tax treatment. I personally am not a fan of this, but a lot of us make money doing this. So in the bank account, I'm getting paid more interest when it comes to this tax, but technically this is one other source of income. So you can actually count this as a source of income. When people ask me my source of income, I normally won't count this, but I remember back in the day, I was counting my savings account 3 cents a year, 3 cents a month as another source of income. So make sure you get an interest account that pays you more than 0.1, 0.0, or basically 0.1%, 0.5%, 0.7%. I don't think there's anything that pays you 1%. That would be crazy because banks are not in the business of trying to give you money, especially when they use the money we put in the bank and they invest, they do a number of things with it. If you have a job and if you have a savings account that pays you interest and you invest in stocks, then technically that means you might have a few different streams of income. For a long time, I did social media marketing, which was number 1. I did my job, number 2. That should be my number 1. I had my savings account, number 3. And I just started doing credit repair, number 4. Then I sucked at marketing and I was terrible. And then I shut that one down. So now I just got 3 major sources of income. But then I started making money on YouTube from 2 separate channels. And I have 4. And then I have my dividend income, which is $181 a year. So I have 5 sources of income right now. So my goal is to scale dividends, scale YouTube, scale credit repair, and just basically scale all my other streams of income. I would want each stream of income to be able to single-handedly pay all my bills. So that is my current goal, and I think I can get there. So the 5th source is rental income. I don't have any houses. I don't rent anything right now, or I don't have any rental properties right now. For me, what I consider a rental property, or what I can liken to a rental property, is my YouTube channel. Very low upkeep. I just make videos. I have a great time doing it. Another thing is I have another channel, a niche channel, a theme channel in a separate niche, not credit, but that one has its own content team behind it that I pay monthly to get that taken care of and eventually scale that into a cash cow channel, which I'll probably talk about in the future. So some unique advantages to real estate are it's a tax haven. There's a lot of people that are multimillionaires in real estate, but on paper they make almost no money, and they're not hiding from paying taxes because they do pay all kinds of different taxes. But what they are doing is showing very small income, but they utilize like business credit and different things like that. And a lot of things you do for rental income will count as costs. For me in my credit repair business, going out to eat with clients, not that I do that, but I do go out to eat with business partners, people in the area, people that do credit repair and that are very successful. All those things are cost of doing business, and they are a tax write-off to me, which means when I pay myself, part of me paying myself is writing off what I have spent on my business. so that I don't get taxed and my business does not get taxed on that either, because that will be used as an expense. So a lot of things, I have a lot of expenses, and I don't really have to pay myself a great wage. My rent is an expense. At the end of the year, I write that off with my accountant. My car, I do drive for business. I do a lot of in-person mentoring. I do all kinds of different things. So I'm able to write off my car, my gas, my insurance, and that's all money that I would have to pay myself, get taxed on. Stays in the business takes care of it. I pay myself less. But I pay about $200 in taxes a month just as a safeguard, even though I either get it back or just break even. So rental income is not something I could talk too much about, but according to the IRS, that is a major portion of the rich's wealth. And not even the rich, there's just wealthy people that can make a couple $100,000 a year, and they make it all through rental income. And rental income can be a number of things. It doesn't have to be houses. You can own a plot of land where 7-Eleven rents from you. So now you're getting money from a business that's not going nowhere, and that's consistent money coming in. And let's just say you need conventional loans. You need about $200,000 to buy $1 million worth of real estate. That could potentially make you a lot of money. So there's that. There's the 1031 exchange. So if you have a house, let's say you bought a house for $100,000, it goes up to $300,000, and all the profit that you get would normally be capital gains or income. What you can do is a 1031 exchange, which means you can take the equity and take your profits and move that over to another investment, which another house. So you can actually move money from property to property, not evading, but legally evading taxes for a much better investment later on. So basically you're deferring the payment of your taxes. So number 6 is the profits from a business. This would be my business pays me an income. I'm a W-2 employee of my credit repair business, so I get a wage. I get a check. So I have a check. I'm W-2'd, pay myself a wage out of my business. That covers what I pay myself, what I need to cover all my expenses like rent, groceries, things like that. And then profits, I can actually pay myself a dividend on my business, which is taxed at a lower rate. So this is how I structure it, exactly what I have in my notes here. Number 6 is profits from a business they own. It might include having a side hustle or a second job, because you don't need to own another business to make more money. I seriously think this is probably one of the most underutilized income sources that people just don't take advantage of. And that stops today working on any type of side business that has the potential to grow completely independently from your main source of income. What I did while working my job, I had profits from a business, a social media marketing company, and I was making about maybe $1,500 a month. I had virtual assistants. I was doing everything the right way, but for me, I truly believe I've tried probably 15 different things, and I've failed at every single one of them. But I've learned valuable lessons. I've learned how to do marketing. I've learned how to do editing. I've learned how to do a whole host of different things in doing that. And the reason why I bring that up is because sometimes you just got to try a lot of things to really just see what clicks. And there's some guys I talked to in marketing, we did it together, and man, did those guys really just blow up, make 20, 30 grand a month and all that. But for some reason, just in my head, something just wouldn't click. With credit repair, something just in my head clicked, and I just did really good at the business. I just had a knack for getting the clients, the affiliates, the referrals, and then turned it to the whole business that's paying my bills, funding all these different ventures, and it's just a great thing now. That would be number 6, profits of a business. But number 7 for me right now could be you smashing that like button. So just smash that sucker, make it an odd number. So 1, 3, 7, 9, 11. All those times you could smash it and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So I know I said 7, but I only got 6. And the 7th source of income is yourself. Invest in your knowledge. Invest in yourself. Invest in skills.